Guess who's back?
Need for Speed Carbon is a direct sequel to Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is probably the most beloved game of the franchise. On the surface, the game looks like a fine piece of cake, but if you take a deeper look, there's a lot we never got in the final game. Hey guys, I'm Nick, and today on the Spot we are going to talk about another legendary Need for Speed, and that is Carbon. For years the community is trying to discover the secrets of Carbon. Obviously I don't have all the information printed in my big forehead, so I will drop links in the description of the sources I used to make this video. If I miss anything, let me know in the comments down below. San Juan is the location you only play during the prologue and when you are testing your car. Ever since, people have been wondering, where is this location and why can we access this in game? San Juan was first meant to be incorporated with the rest of the map, but got cut because the developers were short on time. Thank you, EA. This can be seen on the beta map of Need for Speed Carbon. The map was also used in a demo for the game. A group of roads seem to resemble San Juan's Salazar Street. Many speculate that San Juan is the famous Mystery City. In Need for Speed Carbon there are multiple crews. TFK, Bushido, 21st Street Crew, Stack Deck, Rotor 4, Inferno, Scorpios and Kings. But we actually have other crews we don't see in game. Les Samurai is a cut crew, I can't remember where. I think on Reddit I saw a comment and it basically said something like this. Blackbox removed this crew from the game during development and left the symbols on the map. I think I remember a few years ago that the Les Samurai crew, someone in that crew, was the original final boss of Carbon. Personally, I think Les Samurai was just an early version of what Stack Deck crew became. I got no proof of this, so just take away the grain of salt, but I found this comment really interesting and I just had to include it in the video. If you'd like me to make a fully deep dive into everything that got cut from the game, please go to the description, join the Discord and send me a message with what you know that got cut from the game. And I will add as much as I can. Please, by the way, let me know the source too, because I don't like to claim something that's not mine. Okay, let's continue. Here's a list of removed features from Carbon. If you take a look at this screenshot, how much stuff was changed in the final? I'll give you 5 seconds. Yes, time's up. This is what has been changed. The minimap north indicator was different, the minimap track color was cyan, the sky and graphics were different, the minimap road texture had differences, earlier blocker roll icon is present, the HUD is different than PlayStation 2 and Xbox original demo and final game. The Wingman, Nitro and Speed Breaker bars are different. The Wingman, Nitro and Speed Breaker bars had positive and negative signs in both ends. The font was slightly bolder. The race barriers were still most wanted ones. And the race time counter was white. I also have a list of cut customization options for Carbon. You'll see them on screen right now. If you take a look at this picture, the canyon duel was supposed to be in map. If you take a look at the left side of the race, you see a whole section of road that's not included in the final game. It looks like there's also a section of San Juan included, but I can't be so sure if it's the complete San Juan. I only think it's partly connected. If all the findings from others are true, this is the full Mystery City before it got scrapped. Normally, a beta map looks very similar to its final product, but I mean, come on, look at the differences. There's so much that has been added and removed at the same time, it's insane. Someone found a glitch where you can get out of the map. After a while of driving in the void, you start finding the canyons and even San Juan while being out of the map. If this screenshot is accurate, I'm certain you can follow this map and find any of the races out of the city. A YouTuber known as I Am The Most Wanted 2011 was the one that made these theories known to the bigger crowd. At least I learned about them because of that channel. I also later learned about the website NFS Theories, which was offline a few years later. Someone else revived the website, and I'll put a link in the description for anyone trying to access it. There's also an old interview with Neil Eskery, and let me just quote a few things he said in that interview. The biggest adjustment for Eskery was the balancing act between what EA wanted to do and what we can actually fit into the game. Yeah, that basically explains how EA works in 3 sentences. We went through a couple of ideas for the game and locations, explains Neil. We had an idea for a large world with more open highway between cities, which would take the player through deserts and mountains on long, epic races. Well, you got more than a few ideas, my friend. Don't you think race wars would have been great on a map like we saw earlier in the video? I think that would have been amazing. The next quote is pretty interesting because I wonder what they mean by it. When the crew got back and started putting the world together, it occurred to them that maybe this isn't the culture of street racing. So they had to crank their concept in reverse and look at it all from another angle. That's weird, don't you think? The final part I want to show you could basically explain why the canyons are not included into the map itself. Ironically, Neil adds, the idea of the canyon racing came late in the process but fit well with what we were already doing. Like I said, this could explain a lot, but on the other hand, maybe he's lying, who knows. Obviously, there's way more to cover here, but again, if you really want me to go to the very end, including every cut part of the game, let me know in the comments down below. And help me please by sending a message on Discord. Somewhere next week I got a deep dive retrospective of Underground 1 and 2. I would love to cover all of the older Need for Speed games, so if you like that, maybe consider subscribing. Hope you guys enjoyed, see y'all tomorrow, bye.